Welcome to the Black Men Experiences channel. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, this Anglo male showed this Black medical doctor racism or racial racism. And this Anglo male did not want this Black medical doctor's Black Paws on him. But there is no racism in 2025, right? Yes, yes. That is what those supremacist minded type people from within various sections of the plant-based culture and some other ones from some other cultures and backgrounds who hide under the banner of Anglo and ones that hide under the people of color minority nonsensical switchery. What does a minority look like? What does a people of color look like? And so many still numbers of Black folks in America still are allowing people to put them in some idiotic people of color and minority switchery category, right? See, this is what they like Black males basically to be like: buffoonery, nonsensical, bird-headed, right? No type of thinking, no type of rationality, no nothing. But then when this Black medical doctor that earned his right to go to medical school, it still wasn't enough, right? Like you see in this image. I don't care if a Black male is a medical doctor. I am ingrained with centuries of anti-Black American hatefulness. But then I like playing the victim also. I am a hypocrite and the original affirmative action receiver. Shh. Yes, and they know this, right? But let me go ahead and play this particular initial video from this particular Black medical doctor that was showing racial racism, terrorism, anti-Blackness. And remember, there's no racism going on still in 2025.
Sure, some of you guys probably believe stuff like this doesn't happen, but let me assure you, this is not the first time. Sure, some of you guys probably believe stuff like this doesn't happen, but let me assure you, this is not the first time. Went to the ER, called in for patients. I had multiple patients, but this was my first one that I was going to see. And when I go to the ER, usually I stop at the nurse's station and look at the chart, kind of go over everything, so I kind of know what I'm dealing with before I even start. This was a younger patient, probably I think he was in his 30s or something like that. I can see him though because I'm really close to the bay. I'm looking at him while I'm looking at the chart, so I guess he notices me watching, and he asked the nurse that's in there, like, hey, is that my doctor? And she told him, yeah, that's Dr. J, he's great. You'll be in good hands. And he was like, oh, no, absolutely not. I can't have any Black people touching me. And he was like, oh, no, absolutely not. I can't have any Black people touching me. And he was like, oh, no, absolutely not. I can't have any Black people touching me. And I smirked because it's not the first time I've heard someone say that. There's been a couple Black people touching me. And I smirked because it's not the first time I've heard someone say that. There's been, no, absolutely not. I can't have any Black people touching me. And I smirked because it's not the first time I've heard someone say that. It's been a couple years, but whatever. If you don't want to see me, I don't care. But she froze. She didn't know what to say. I was like, oh, don't worry. He can see whoever he wants, but I'm the only one that can see you right now. So if you can't see me.
Mm, mm, mm. So this black medical doctor who earned his right to go to medical school, earned his right. And he's in the ER doing his thing. And this patient, this Anglo patient, is having some kind of situation. And this black male doctor, right, is wanting to help him out, right? And then the Anglo male sees this black medical doctor is like, no, I can't have no black medical doctor basically touching him. But there's no racism going on 2025, right? Where are this black and brown or brown and black coalition at against these kind of things? Where is this yellow and black coalition at? Huh? Where is this, where humanity type people, where are they at? Where are those people at that have some skin of black? I'm talking about the ones that applies to who they're black when it's convenient, but no black, they're of their tribe or ethnicness. Where are those type of hypocrites at? The ones applies to. I'll tell you where they're at. Look, give me a second. Let me tell you where they're at. Yes. They're disappearing real fast, but they want numbers of black folks in America to help them out, to be their whipping post, to be there to fight border breaking illegal immigrant rights, to be there to fight immigrant numbers of rights, to be there to sit there and fight humanity's rights, while other people are going right past numbers of American blacks and doing this. Yes. Now watch this, right? Now let me show you something.
Racism itself is an insane proposition. What is racism? White supremacy. What is white supremacy? Mistreating people or treating people like they're criminals because of color. Also, you have people in very high positions who say that if you're a person with black skin, you are a toilet.
Yes.
So what do you do to a toilet?
Yes. Just like that person, that Anglo anti-American black racial terrorism one, that saw that black doctor and he looked at him as a toilet. Not as someone that, hey man, this particular doctor probably can sit to help him out, because you got some good doctors out there and some bad doctors. There's some doctors out there who like, not freak, that they go through medical school. Some other people from various other cultures and backgrounds, etc. The ones it applies to, right? They have some messed up bedside manners. There are some ones that even seem like they're incompetent. Oh, there's some people know what I'm talking about, but that's a different topic, right? Let me just add another part to this from this gentleman that does these hip hop cartoons and some other ones. Brilliant. Let me show you what also these racism terrorists, also how they look at black folks.
Move. My goodness. I'm a white person. Get out of my way. Move. My goodness. I'm a white person. Get out of my way. You're not supposed to be on this planet. Negro. What are you doing breathing? Where did you come from? Who created you? Who would have the nerve to create something like you? Who would make that kind of mistake? You're nothing but a walking mistake. My God, deliver me.
Yes. This is just how they look at black males in general. I'm not talking about coons and sellouts and deflection ones. Yes. And this black medical doctor who earned his right to go to medical school was showing racial racism terrorists. And what did he say? It's not the first freaking time. But you got people within various parts of sections of the predominated culture, the one this applies to, that are warped, that are centuries old, steeped in racial racism, anti-American blacks. It ain't stopped, and it's not going to stop. Right? It's not. And then you add in various other cultures and backgrounds and certain sections of a terms lifestyle category, the one this applies to, and numbers of immigrationists and numbers of border breaker, illegal immigrant, etc., etc. And you got a recipe for racial maximum anti-American black terrorism. And unfortunately, there's millions within black folks in America that don't even understand this is happening. This is happening. The last thing I want to sit there and show is this particular sisterhood. Now, I don't know if she's a Black American or she is from maybe a section of Africa or certain parts of certain main Caribbean. I'm not quite sure, because usually when I'm showing you, I'm going to show you, they ain't usually Black American parents that are doing this, especially in this 21st century. Could be not. That's not the issue. The concept is what I'm saying, what I'm going to show you, since this is a Black medical doctor going through racial racism, terrorism. And imagine when I'm sitting there about to show you this particular sisterhood, lazy as I don't know what. And so however she's getting her money, well, she's a stay-at-home, well, anyway, not stay-at-home mom, but let me sit there and show you something on this, because the hypocrisy is extremely messed up. Let me sure you see that. All right, make sure you see that part. And keep this in mind, like that Black medical doctor. Now remember, oh my goodness, society, oh, Black men are lazy, but there are the majority of Black males are in the middle class. The majority of Black males are criminality. The majority of Black males don't commit criminality. The majority numbers of males within the number one person within the predominated culture are the ones who commit the most crimes. The number one people who they hand out the most getting welfare is number the person within the predominated culture. But again, that stuff is still minimized. Right? Minimized. And how many, should we say, people that are able to go to medical school in America and they slot under people of color and minority switchery have gotten a certain type of medical based upon off of Black pain of the American blacks, because the other people are used as a buffer. Oh, see, they don't like when people see through that little tactic. That's disgusting tactic. But so anyway, keep this in mind. But this situation, very interesting podcast on this gentleman's topic too, on this channel. Very excellent in this on the topics of different things too. But you see, when women wait at the finish line, this is what you see. Now think about this Black male going through all this. He's going to be going through that racial racism, terrorism more than one time, and you're gonna see how this Black woman, how she treats this guy. I don't know if he's Black, man. I don't know. But let's just go through with the flow of this. Let's go ahead and just play this.
I went on a date with a guy on Tuesday, and originally he told me he did one profession. And, once we got to the date, maybe an hour in, he told me that he was studying for the MCATs.
That boy is good.
Taking them in June.
She hit the jackpot. She found a single man that got accepted to med school. Well, I guess those red pill guys were wrong. Well, all that jazz about women waiting at the finish line for men, about how they don't want to be there during the struggle. Obviously, we have a queen here that's going to disprove such propaganda, right?
Which means that he would potentially be going to med school for 4 years. And as soon as he said this, my heart sank, because I feel like there's just always a catch. I'm 31, so it's not ideal for me to date someone who is in school and not in their career. And I know that people might say, well, you don't have a job, you're a stay-at-home daughter. I think you don't have a job. People might say, well, you don't have a job, you're a stay-at-home daughter. I think people might say, well, you don't have a job, you're a stay-at-home daughter. I think that doesn't stop me from, dating with intention.
So basically, she's a stay-at-home
failure.
Okay, wait, let me rephrase that. This 31-year-old woman who has no job thinks that she's better than a man who is currently working and who just got accepted to med school. 1-year-old woman who... So basically, she's a stay-at-home
failure.
Okay, wait, let me rephrase that. This 31-year-old woman who has no job thinks that she's better than a man who is currently working and who just got accepted to med school.
I'm a stay-at-home daughter, and a lot of people look down on this. I think they look down on Black women living a soft life, and I am not down on Black women living a soft life. I think they look down on Black women living a soft life, and I am not gonna be apologetic about it anymore. I feel like we're just so used to seeing Black women struggle or not be able to have the choice to live a soft Black women struggle. So used to seeing Black women struggle or not be able to have the choice to live a softer life.
I think you suffer from some sort of failure to launch syndrome. I mean, it's one thing to live at your parents' house to save money and prepare yourself to buy your own house. But staying at your parents' house to afford weaves, nails, and rings is another story. But even with her family financing her lifestyle, she still finds a way to play victim because the evil society shames her for living a soft life. With her family financing her lifestyle, she still finds a way to play victim because the evil society shames her for living a soft life because she's a Black woman. My friends, the Winter Victim Olympics is going to be glorious in 2026. To Milan we go.
And I just know me for myself that I would like a shorter time frame in which I get married to someone. So I feel like it would be even more postponed if I decided to, decide to date him.
So if time was of the essence, why didn't she pick a man 6 years and 40 bodies earlier? She can't even lie and say I was focusing on my career. Man, 6 years and she pick a man 6 years. So if time was of the essence, why didn't she pick a man 6 years and 40 bodies earlier? She can't even lie and say I was focusing on my career because she's a stay-at-home failure. Oh, I'm sorry, these failures keep slipping out of my hand. Maybe she should ask her therapist to increase the Ritalin dosage because she lack a focus.
I have to finish writing this paper. I'm swamped.
Just get Grammarly. It's free.
Can it help with what I wrote last?
So I did tell him after the date, I'm going to put the text on the screen as well. But I did let him know after the date that I don't think I'd be able to see him further, only because I think he should focus on school. But largely, I think it's because I'm scared. I don't want to put in 4 years into a relationship on a hope and a wish that after hard years of schooling that, I will get a ring from this person, that I don't think I'd be able to see him further.
Look at the silliness of this sisterhood. The audacity. Now, what I don't agree with that. He's talking about, I don't think you will distract me. I believe you will motivate me. That means he has lack of self-confidence. There are a lot of people that date while still on school. I believe you are the right person for me, which shows his extreme lack of self-confidence. And there are a lot of males that are suffering from lack of confidence and think that money supersedes the lack of self-confidence, and it does not. He said we could also get married while I'm in school. I'm a no traditional student, not in undergrad. I wish you the best. I'm sorry it didn't work out. I enjoyed the dinner too. Thank you. I wish you the best as well. can we be friends? Do you have any social media? I think she's saying she don't do friends or something, whatever it was. But you see, this guy is going to the medical school, right? And one man, she talking about, basically like she can't really find nobody. I'm giving an example. This guy's trying to go to medical school, right? Trying to become a medical doctor, right? Oh, no. And she's still making excuses because she does not want to sit there and she don't want to work with the man, right? To go through different things. She wants them already packaged, right? The audacity of some of these weird freaking Sisterhood of Chaos members. Let me get out there.
Only because I think he should focus on school. But largely, I think it's because I'm scared. I don't want to put in 4 years into a relationship on a hope and a wish that after hard years of schooling that, I will get a ring from this person. He did let me know in my message that he was okay with getting married in med school, but I don't want someone to change their mind in the moment. I feel like he was very firm on the fact that it's the more ideal to wait until after med school. But yeah, this is a tough one for me. Should I have went on a second date?
Nope, don't dare for potential.
I'm about to go back to being one too. I moved out to get my own apartment almost 3 years, and I realized I'm not meant to pay bills, but the apartment was fun. LOL.
Failure.
I'm 30, and I feel you. At this stage in your life, that is not something you are interested in. Fair.
Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind, and if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch.
I make this point, and that say for instance, this black medical doctor in this situation with this black medical doctor that got the racism, terrorism put upon him, right? That he's sitting there in that ER, helping out, trying to do different patients, and this particular Anglo by their actions of anti-American black terrorism. When he sit there and laid over, he does not want basically black male sitting there touching him, but prefers basically a white doctor. Now, in that Sisterhood of Chaos member that we saw, that imagine if that was not him. Think about another black male doctor. And say that little lost Sisterhood of Chaos member I sit there and showed you, 30-some years old, being taken care of by her daddy or mama, most likely the dad. Now, I don't know if that's a black American dad or if that's a person of African dad or a certain section of Africa, a certain section of certain parts of main Caribbean on that's doing that, which is a failure in itself, right? 30-some years old. And you saw her was getting inside some Mercedes-Benz, had a nice ring, nice clothes on, nice room, everything. And talking about she was a stay-at-home daughter. Oh, my goodness. Now, if that was a black male, say that was a black male going to medical school, and he's at home with his parents. Oh, my goodness. We don't care about him going to medical school. He's at home with his parents. He is still lazy. I don't want to be with him while he's standing at home with his mommy. You see how that goes. But when it's a sister like that, oh, she wasn't a bad looking woman. She's very average, but she wasn't bad looking. You still have guys lining up trying to still get with her. And they know this. So I make this point in closing up this show that this guy was trying to go to medical school, right? The one in the example I just showed you in that video, trying to go to medical school. And say, for instance, if he was a black male that she was talking to, which I don't know now because I don't know, right? But it's hypothetical. Say that was a black man on that situation, and he had that kind of lack of self-confidence on this situation. On one date, and basically he's fallen in love already, which again is extreme lack of self-confidence. So the thing about the say, for instance, if that was a black medical school person trying to go to medical school, and he finishes medical school, and say, for instance, he marries her, or well, he marries her before that. This saying, for instance, they together for right now because she's looking at his potential to get that kind of money, not because she loves him, but the potential for the money, economics only. And say, for instance, that he comes home and says, "Hey, baby, I got this racism at the hospital today." She ain't gonna give a dang about that. She might think it, but she ain't concerned about that. She wants that money from that medical doctor, right? So I make this point in the symbolism of the racism terrors that this particular medical doctor that we was talking about earlier went through when he was in ER. But this Anglo male telling whoever the person that he does not want this black medical doctor to touch him, right? As if he got some kind of scabies or something, right? Could you imagine this sister of chaos, right? She was a medical doctor, right? She's on for economics, right? And for show stuff, right? This nice house, everything. She wasn't thorough, right? For him to go through stuff because most of them they're not going to do that. But to say the very small amount, or if she was able to sit there, right? Doesn't say that she's not going to cheat on him, because there's numbers of women that cheat every freaking day. But we don't want to talk about that. But let's just say, for instance, she still stayed with him. She still was cheating and sleeping around, right? And they still get a pass for that, right? As you heard some of the little comments from the sisterhood making excuses. But just say, for instance, she stuck it out while she was still cheating. Give an example of flirting some other people. But he was going through some racism. When he finished, she would not want to hear that. She would only think about that money, right? He's this medical doctor now, right? She wouldn't care about racism. She's going to care about that money and economics. So I make this point in closing. More black males in America need to wake up. It does not matter. Ones that a lawyerness, it can be from a medical doctor, it can be an accountant, it can be an engineer, a business person, etc. Most of the time, the sister of chaos and certain numbers of other women from no Pacific culture and background really are not in relationships with black men because they love them. They're only there for economics only. And the sister of chaos with their contradictory hypocrisy self, when they see black males get with non-blacks, and the only thing they jump up and down about is, oh my goodness, when those black males make money, then they go talk to other cultures. But they don't tell you how many of them, those sisterhood chaos, didn't want to be with them when that black male was sitting there climbing that ladder, or putting in the long hours, or putting in the long hours at that job, or going back to school, or going to school, or learn the trade. They don't tell you how many numbers of sister of chaos and some other numbers of women didn't want to sit there and be around that person then. They wanted him at the finish line. You see the disgustingality of that. But you rarely will hear vice versa, right? Rarely hear some kind of male saying, oh, I don't want no woman, unless she's at the finish line. No, that don't make any sense for most males, especially when a woman looks okay looking, right? So more males, unfortunately, suffer from lack of self-confidence and do not see the gains of quite a number of women. Now, again, numbers of good women out there, they know where they are, and credit to them. But unfortunately, that's getting smaller and smaller, because you got some ones that'll play some games out there, and they'd be like, oh my goodness, why are people talking about the sisterhood or some other women? Because you know what? I mean, there are some good women out there, and it's not all. There's not all numbers of black women that's doing wrong. Did I even say that? Or any other black male don't even say that. But what this system wants none of the sisters to do is continuously have contemptuousness of no-reality thinking and having hatred or misogyniness toward black males, and they expect black males to sit there and tolerate that. They literally do. So when that black male goes traveling, the ones who do get with someone from different cultures, then sisterhood chaos want to get pissed off. You talking about the hypocrisy. But at the same time, when sisterhood chaos go traveling themselves and they go sleeping with also younger guys, whole different topic, right? They go date other outside their race. When they in America, how many Black women date outside their race? But when they date outside the race, this where we can't find no Black males on our level. But when Black males sit there, you know, on high economic level, and they say, no, well, I can't find no Black one on my level. Oh, they hate their mama. Get out of here with that damn topic. Oh, you get the hell out of here with that game. So I thank you for tuning in to the Black Men Experiences.